Most people try Discipline Priest once and immediately drop it, but if you know what you're doing, it's one of the strongest healers in the game. Let me show you how to make it work. Discipline Priest doesn't heal like a traditional healer. Instead of constantly casting big healing spells, you heal by dealing damage, thanks to a mechanic called Atonement. Atonement is a temporary buff that you apply to your allies, and while it's active, any damage you deal to your enemies will automatically heal those targets for a portion of that damage. Atonement only lasts for a short time, typically between 12 to 18 seconds, depending on the spells you use or any passive talents that you've chosen that might extend its duration. So the whole playstyle is about preparing for damage before it happens. You first apply Atonement to your group, and then swap to offense using damage abilities to heal everyone at once. Let's break it down step by step. You can apply Atonement using 4 spells: Power Word Shield, Power Word Radiance, Flash Heal, and Renew. Each one plays a different role, depending on the situation. Power Word Shield provides a fast, instant option for individual Atonement application and damage absorption. Use it on cooldown, especially on yourself when others are already at full health. Power Word Radiance, a large group heal that applies Atonement to up to 5 allies at once. This is your main tool for quickly prepping the group before burst damage. Flash Heal, while this is your traditional single target heal, you'll almost never cast it normally. Instead, you'll mostly use it with Surge of Light procs, which makes it instant and free. In those cases, it's a great tool to apply Atonement or extend an existing one. And Renew, a heal over time spell that also applies Atonement. It's cheap and best used to apply Atonement when you're not under pressure. Once you've applied Atonement to your group, it's time to start dealing damage to heal them. You'll do that using 4 main damage spells: Penance, Shadow Word Pain, Mind Blast, and Smite. Each one contributes differently to your healing output. Penance, a channeled spell that fires bolts of light at the enemy or an ally if you need direct healing. It deals strong damage and triggers a lot of Atonement healing. Use it on cooldown, your strongest Atonement triggering spell. If someone needs healing and there's no enemies nearby, cast it onto your ally. Shadow Word Pain, this is a damage over time effect and it applies Atonement ticks. Keep one enemy dotted at all times. Whenever you cast Penance on that enemy, it spreads Shadow Word Pain to nearby foes. Mind Blast, a single target damage spell that plays a key role in your burst windows. Casting it applies Schism, which increases all your spell damage to that target by 10% for 9 seconds. With the Dark Indulgence talent, it also guarantees the Power of the Dark Side talent, making your next penance hit 30% harder. And Smite, your core filler spell. But with the right talents, it's doing a lot more than just filling gaps. Thanks to Will and WoW, it gets buffed every time you cast Penance, hitting harder or boosting your next shield. The Divine Procession talent makes each smite extend Atonement duration, letting you get more healing from every application. And with the Unwavering Will talent, it casts faster when you're healthy. But what really ties it together is Surge of Light. Each smite has a chance to give you an instant mana-free flash heal, letting you react quickly in tight moments without losing tempo. On top of your core rotation, Discipline also has powerful cooldowns that define your major healing windows. Ultimate Penitence, also known as Uppies. This is your most powerful emergency cooldown. It channels a wave of light that deals massive damage to enemies and converts it into Atonement healing for everyone affected. The more Atonements you have active, the more healing you get, so always precast Radiance before hitting this button. It's ideal for moments of overwhelming group damage or when other cooldowns are unavailable. Shadow Fiend, this cooldown does more than just help you with your mana. It also triggers the Shadow Covenant talent, which gives you a big boost to your penance healing. Then you have Evangelism, which extends the duration of all of your active atonements by 6 seconds and provides a solid group-wide heal. In Mythic Plus, you use it as an on-demand burst heal, either to top up the group when you're already applied Atonement, or to send a powerful spot heal to 1 or 2 targets, assuming they already have Atonement applied. Power Word Barrier, a group-wide damage reduction zone. Simple but incredibly powerful if your group can stack inside it. You should use it during predictable bursty damage phases where people can huddle for safety. It's great for things like dungeon boss AoEs or any pack that's going to cleave hard. And our last cooldown, Pain Suppression, it's a targeted external that reduces the damage on one ally by a large amount. You'll use this most often on your tank during a spike or a DPS with a mechanic like a frontal, bleed, or a fixate. If you're running the Protector of the Frail talent, you'll also get a bonus charge, so don't be stingy with it. Now we'll talk about the hero talent, specifically Oracle. The Oracle hero talent tree adds a rotating system of buffs that strengthen your healing and support tools. It revolves around a passive called Premonition, which cycles through 4 effects in order: Insight, Piety, Solace, and Clairvoyance, and then it repeats. Every time you activate Premonition, it makes your next Power Word Radiance instant, giving you a quick Atonement setup. Here is what each one does. Premonition of Insight. It gives you 7 seconds of cooldown reduction on the next 3 spells you cast. It's most commonly used with Penance or Power Word Shield, casting them multiple times in quick succession. You can also weave in a few smites between those casts to consume Will and Woe stacks for extra healing and damage. Premonition of Piety. It boosts your healing and absorb effects, and redirects any overhealing to injured allies instead of wasting it. Basically treat it as a free bonus healing button. Premonition of Solace. It applies a solid absorb shield and a small damage reduction to the target of your next single target healing spell. If you don't use it manually, it can accidentally be triggered by a friendly Twin Sight Penance, which may apply it to a random ally, so be deliberate. For best results, cast Penance first to activate Will and Woe, then use Solace with a Power Word Shield to stack both shields. Because Power Word Shield is consumed first, the damage reduction from Solace will last longer. That said, don't overthink it. You can always use it to save someone when needed. Premonition of Clairvoyance. It triggers all 3 buffs at once. This is your strongest cooldown available as Oracle, so use it for big AoE damage moments. Once you've used Clairvoyance, the cycle repeats back to Insight. Discipline Priest isn't about following a strict DPS style rotation. Your job is to keep people alive. How you do it depends on the situation. There's a general priority that helps you get the most value out of your spells, especially when setting up Atonement healing, but it's only a guideline. The real skill comes from assessing the situation in real time and adjusting your play on the fly. If your group's about to take heavy damage, your top priority is prepping with Atonement and dealing damage to heal everyone. If someone's nearly dead, you drop the ideal flow and save them. In short, the optimal priority helps you plan, but the goal is survival. Be reactive, think ahead, and always stay flexible. Now I'll explain your opener. Start by applying Shadow Word Pain to your main target. Cast Power Word Shield early to trigger Borrow Time, giving you a haste boost before you start the burst. Drop Shadow Fiend early, then apply Power Word Radiance to get Atonement on a group. Next, use Mind Blast to apply Schism and trigger Power of the Dark Side for a buffed Penance. Follow with Premonition of Insight, then rotate Penance and Smite because of the cooldown reduction. Otherwise, just use your instant flash heals from Surge of Light procs as needed to keep your healing steady and refresh Atonements. This opener is an optimized sequence meant for ideal conditions, but real dungeon pools are rarely that clean. As a Discipline Priest, your job isn't to follow a rigid plan, it's to keep everyone alive. Sometimes that means skipping steps, changing targets, or reaching for different spells based on who's in danger and what's happening in the moment. Learn the ideal flow, but always be ready to break from it. Healing is about judgment, not just execution. If you're the player who likes playing this kind of playstyle, thinking 3 moves ahead while still pumping damage, Discipline is going to feel incredible for you. If this guide helped you out, drop a like or subscribe to the channel for more video guides like this one. And feel free to drop questions or your own tips in the comments. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.